choose to not be first?
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Oscar Bevis for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Adebayo Akinfenwa. So I really appreciate your time. I'm here on the red carpet as well. How are we?
I can't complain, my brother. I can't complain. Thank you for having me, brother.
Mate, it's a pleasure. First for myself, I know teenage me would be very happy. And I feel like late teenage, early adult me would be happy. Because I know a lot of boys from Wickham as well. And I know that was like the best moment of their life. So I feel like I'm just quite happy actually with this.
Say that. I don't know. You make me feel a little bit old, though, my brother. But listen, it's love always, though. So I'm blessed to be here, brother.
Like I said, thank you for your time. Ali Foreman being honoured in there. We never forget, of course, about George Foreman. But I know as a boxing man and as someone, of course, who was a sportsman as well, there must have just been a massive impact of Muhammad Ali, kind of like the rest of us, I guess, on your life and your journey into sports.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I always think that you find inspiration where there's to be found. And I think Muhammad Ali is the definition of inspiration. I think he's the definition of icon. And listen, I live by a mantra of being unapologetically yourself. And I think when you listen to his story, like, it was before my time. I wasn't born in his peak. But of course, as we gotten older, you start diving down and researching and finding out more about the man, the boxer. And then the more you do, the more you just realise how an inspirational figure he was. And listen, I think a lot of athletes and sports people, and I think people in general, have looked at him, and you know what I'm saying, and he's inspired them in one way or another.
Considering nowadays we've got the power of social media and it's so much easier to kind of find a superstar, and you would consider there to be a lot more modern greats than there perhaps were of the earlier times. Does it say a lot about Muhammad Ali? You couldn't go on your phone and watch his highlights on YouTube. You couldn't just switch your TV on and a replay of his fights there. To be a man of such power in a time where there was such little access, does that just say a lot about what kind of an icon Muhammad Ali was?
Yeah, I mean, and it's the word, the icon, you know what I'm saying? I think legend gets bandied around, and there is. I think modern day legends are modern day legends, but an icon's an icon, you know, an icon's a game changer, and I think that's what he is. And when you're talking about the limited, where you had to kind of see him or see it on TV, you know, there wasn't no, everybody's got their phone, it wasn't a moment and it went viral and the world saw it. You kind of saw him, you know what I'm saying? And his energy and his influence was global and it's timeless. And that's just, and for me, that's the testament, and that's how much we can salute the guy and continue just to show love.
Yeah, you're right, the word legend's banded about a bit too much. Like, my mate will bring a couple of pints over and he's a legend, you know what I mean? So there we go.
But
so it's banded about a bit.
He's a modern day, that's what I said, he's a modern day legend. When he can bring that many pints at one time and you can drink it, that's a modern day legend, buddy.
I know you'd have been on IFL before, but just kind of a little bit into your boxing story and how you became a boxing fan.
Yeah, listen, you know, Mike Tyson was mine, you know what I'm saying? He was my pops. I remember late at night, I want to say it was ITV, maybe Channel 4, but just watching him. That's what got me into boxing. But then I also say, as an athlete, there's many different ways of being inspired, and the vigorous work, you know, I come from a team dynamic. I always knew I wanted to play football. But the one thing that stands out about them individual sports, it's them. They're standing for, I can have a crap game and my strike partner can help me out. I think in them individual sports where you just salute them on a whole nother level, it's them in the ring. And I think that was what boxing was. I looked at it and I was like, rah, you know what, it's two people standing toe to toe and the best will win. So for me, I was always intrigued by boxing. And listen, as I've grown older, I've just got more and more into it. I've tried the training regime. It's no joke. It's no joke.
It's no joke for you, then I know it's no joke.
Yeah, man, it's no joke. But no, man, I mean, for me, that's what it is. That's my love for boxing, and I've continued, and I've been lucky to be able to interact and meet with boxers that, for me, I hold on high esteem, and that's just a beautiful thing of this boxing game.
Well, I know you was at the Fury-Ngannou press conference the other day in London. We didn't manage to catch you because we were too busy chasing Fury while he was being an absolute menace. By the way, he was troublesome. Yeah, he was feeling it that day. Obviously, boxing's changed a lot. It's kind of in that crossover sense, not to your influencer style, but I guess a different kind of crossover and someone at the top of their sport crossing over. How do you kind of view that whole thing with Fury and Ngannou?
Do you know what? I actually think it's modern day society. I think I think the world evolves. I think you either adapt or it passes you by. So part of me, I actually do like new avenues getting forged. I actually do. I think like the purist of boxers would want to just see boxers against boxers. But entertainment is entertainment. And I think sometimes there will be a section of fans forever that just want to be entertained. And I think that's where you're starting to see with social media. And that's what it is. Social media has been the thing where it's made a world so big, very small. And a lot of different things can just be, and I won't just say thrusted upon us, but you can just ban different options and different ideas. So listen, I'm all for entertainment. I am. But as a boxing purist, look, I would have loved to seen Fury, AJ. I would have loved to seen AJ Wilder. I would have loved to seen Fury Usyk. And that's just a boxing purist of me. But at the same time, I will be watching Fury-Ngannou. I will be watching it because I want to be entertained. So I guess for me, I see both sides of it.
Well, the boxing purist and you might be let down a little bit then from what we're hearing in terms of Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Mate, I was being told it was signed pre-summer. And now we're looking like a bit of disappointment. So
listen, I ain't gonna lie. How many times have we kind of heard that a fight's been signed and then it doesn't happen? And for me, I guess I'm not saying I'm not as disappointed because I got told that as well, that it maybe not look like it's going to happen. So again, if it happens, it's a beautiful thing. If it doesn't, I guess we're used to it not happening. But if it does, listen, it will be rip-roaring and it'll be entertaining. So I guess we'll just watch this space.
do you think the public are slightly, or I'll say the boxing public, are kind of slightly disillusioned with boxing at the moment?
I think so. And that's what I said, I come down to the boxing purist. I think those that love the game, love the boxing, love the sport, are so invested in it, are delusioned because that's all they've known. They've known boxers for boxers. I think there's a new age of fans that.
And everything takes getting used to, I guess.
Yeah, and listen, there was always a starting point somewhere, and you know what I'm saying. So, but I do think the new age they're loving the crossovers. They're loving the fact where different fans from different sports get merged, and there always used to be, in that generation, or if in that realm it wouldn't happen. Now they're just trying to say, well, okay, let's just put everybody in a ring or put everybody in a venue, and that's what's kind of happening. So I guess you can't please everybody, and I think that's what you're getting out of this world. You can't please everybody.
I'll tell you what this new kind of crossover section has brought. I know he wasn't a boxer originally, but KSI and Tommy, that is going to blow the roof off. Logan and Dylan Dennis on the undercard. That just kind of, I guess, accentuates how popular and how big this crossover sort of scene is.
The worst thing is you can't deny it. And you know what I also think? I think those that are at the elite of their sport are realizing they can't deny it. You just can't deny it. The numbers they do, like these influencers are literally that, influencers. And for me, the one thing I'll also say is, I think some of these influencers are showing that, nah man, they're doing their due diligence. So KSI now can fight. It's no longer just a YouTuber doing it for entertainment, but he puts the time in. And that's what, for me, you got to salute. You got to salute where you've seen the journey from the beginning when he fought what's his name? And that's my guy as well. But anyway, from his first fight to where you've seen his last fight, Joe Weller, that's it, boom. Joe, sorry, my brother. So when he fought Joe Weller, to then you've seen these fights going on. You've seen him, the improvement. And that's everybody that's now trying to do the due diligence in what they're going into. So, but yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the KSI. KSI did assure me that he's knocking his head off. KSI, you told me, knock his head off. So I'm looking forward to it.
You tell Bo, Simon, you got to deliver. That's the rules. Mate, you know the next question that's coming, though. Because I know you're not going to put the boots back on.
Yeah, you know.
Football, tick. Boxing, ...
Dot. It's a ...
It's a Misfits one, isn't it?
Do you know the maddest thing is, I keep saying this, I can fight. I'm a very good fighter, but I still need a lot of work on boxing. And I think there's two different things to it. But I'm enjoying the training. I've got a few people at the moment that is showing me the ropes. So I'll stand by saying watch this space. But I need to tell my brothers, because I think if I get hit in the face, they'll jump in the ring. They're just naturally protective of me, so they got to understand that it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But no, we're looking forward to this. Watch this space.
Mate, can't wait. Just one more thing from me. A quick one on England last night, because I feel like everyone today has just been waxing lyrical about Jude Bellingham.
Yeah. For me, best midfielder in the world at the moment. I just think he is, like my son. I walked into the house today and my son was watching the journey of Jude Bellingham. So watching, when he came in as a 15-year-old, trained with Birmingham, and just, the maddest thing is his energy and his demeanour is so ahead of his time. and he just looks like he is enjoying football. And it's a beautiful thing, especially as an English player. You know, we're seeing an English player now. He's with the elites of the elites in Real Madrid. He looks like he's just taking it on his back. He just looks like there's nothing he can't do. He looks like he's set to be the greatest ever English player. As long as he keeps his foot on the ground, which I can't see him changing, and God forbid, as long as he don't get injured. Listen, the world is literally his oyster.
To not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,